Hey everybody, it's Mr. M and it is time for social studies. Who remembers what we were studying in social studies? It was a week ago, almost a week ago. We were studying a big place with tea, bamboo, and pandas. China. We are studying China. And we are looking way back in the history of China today. Okay, I've got a little video here for you. And we're going to talk about the history of ancient China. What does ancient mean? Ancient means really super old. And China is, as you're about to see. So one of the things that you need to know about China is that it is very, 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 very old. A while ago we were learning about Egypt. Now, do you remember the pyramids? And you remember how, after time, the pyramids are so old that even though they're made out of rock and stone, they're falling apart. Well, while the pyramids were being built in Egypt, China was already going about being China with a lot of enthusiasm. Now, the Egyptian civilization of the time is gone. China has just kept right on going this whole time. So let's travel back about 4,500 years, back to about when those pyramids were going up in Egypt. Now, what do we see here in ancient China? Now, ancient, remember, means really, 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 really old. Ancient China, the countryside, we have bamboo forests in the back to build things out of. We have the Yellow River, called the Yellow River because it is full of mud and silt that it washed from further up the river. Now, this is really important because all of this yellow mud and silt is really, really, really good for crops and growing plants and things. And every once in a while, the river floods and washes a bunch of this soil over onto the land and leaves it behind as it stops flooding. And this is really good for the crops. So it's really easy to grow lots of good food. So, really not a bad place to be if you're a Chinese peasant living at the time. Except for once in a while when, you guessed it, when the river floods. Because in addition to leaving all of this wonderful soil, it has a tendency to wash everything away, including your crops, your chickens, your hut, and you. So this went on for a while, kind of a mixed blessing. People would grow up their crops and grow strong and build up a lot of wealth, and then have it all washed away. And this happened over and over until you. No, not you. This you. You the Great, as he is now known and has been for a long, long time. Now, a lot of places have cultural heroes. These are people from legends who are really, really important and, well, figured as heroes by the culture. But usually these are generals or other people who did a lot of stuff with wars and fighting other people. You, the Great, is great mostly because he was an engineer. And you went up and down the rivers all of his life, fixing the rivers with dikes and dams and drainage so that when they flooded, they wouldn't wash everybody away. So this allowed civilization to spring up all over the two main rivers of China, the Yellow River and the Yangtze River, allowing civilization to prosper, wealth to be traded, culture and civilization to continue, and all thanks to you. Again, not you. This you.